In this lecture, we're going to create a math program in Java. We're going to call it math.java. That's our program. We're going to compile it, and then we're going to put some values in it. So we're going to first create our notepad with our class, our method, and our statement. First, we have to define our integers. We're going to do like a number and followed by a factor and then a sum. So after every statement, in this case, you must put a colon. That defines to the program, okay, I've completed this program, or I've completed this section, if you will, or this line of code. Okay, I completed this line of code, it stops, and it starts after the semicolon again. A good coder will a lot of times put descriptions in the code, such as defining numbers for program, okay? And just to tell the reader or the other individual who looks at your code, this is why I did this, whatever that is. And to identify that, you put just the forward slashes into your code, so that way the program doesn't read it. You can also try this for I believe it is in math, called please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which is parentheses, exclamation, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. In theory, really, you could put the code along one line, but that is very hard to read from a human perspective. From a computer's perspective, it doesn't matter. But if I want to read that code and all of it's in one line, it tends to be very difficult to read and understand. That's why you'll see a lot of code written this way. If you've ever seen any of the other tutorials, you'll see them write code this way because it's just easier to comprehend. So for this program, you could have a lot more than just this as far as math is concerned. But in our case, we're going to just demonstrate a couple of different things. I would like to point out something though. Your class name and the name of your program should be the same name. If it's capital in your class, it should be capital in your program name. So now we compile our program, math.java. And when we run the program, our expected output, for instance in this one here, should be something like sum equals num plus factor, which is 52 in this case. This one would be 48. This one would be 100. This one would be 25. So we're going to run the program, and our expected output is I would like to point out also that this number, rather these values here, whatever you put in here, is irregardless. You can put anything you desire in here. As long as it's in the quotations, it doesn't matter. Same with this, same with this, same with this. The program doesn't care what this value is. It's just a description, that's all it is. If you wanted to clean it up, for instance, you say together, you put in your quotations itself, you put a space bar, and when you do that, your output will be different. Let's recompile that and I'll show you what it looks like. Now you see the output is a little different, quite a bit different now, because we've put a space bar here in the quotations. Looks a little neater in your code or your program, if you will. Whereas I left the other ones here, the exclamation, the parentheses, there's no space. So that's why you see the value here. There's no space noted after together 100. Thank you for viewing this lecture.